Hola, live from Mexico City, the cultural capital of Latin America. The city founded about 7 centuries ago by the Aztecs, but now home to more than 20 million people. They love their motorsports in Mexico, and we are at one of the shrines, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, today qualifying for the NASCAR Busch Series south of the border. In Mexico City, it's a warm, sunny Saturday, and this is the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, a flat road course, first built for Formula One, about 2.5 miles long at 7,500 feet. For these drivers, they say it's a blast, but it's a major challenge for the crews along pit road. And bienvenidos to our pit road studio. I'm Chris Fowler. This sits about midpoint in the longest straightaway in NASCAR. About 3/4 of a mile down here, some serious speeds are achieved, and that's just one of the wrinkles as NASCAR's grand experiment continues. Year 3 going south of the border, trying to muscle in on the big motorsports market here in Mexico. Many of the best have made the journey. You'll see coming up Carl Edwards, Greg Biffle, and Denny Hamlin in qualifying, plus some strong Latin American talent like Mexican legend Adrian Fernandez, the former kart star, and Colombian Juan Pablo Montoya, who has a huge fan base here in Mexico. He had the fastest practice time yesterday. This, of course, is a major event, all building to Sunday's race, an ESPN Full Circle event, as the Busch Series race in Mexico City takes place with expanded coverage across the networks. You'll find us on ESPN2, of course, but there's more. You can get inside on ESPN Deportes, Spanish language simulcast on ESPN, streaming live on 360, and it all begins at 1:30 Eastern. To the booth for qualifying, Jerry Punch, Rusty Wallace, and Andy Petrie.
Well, thanks, Chris. The qualifying format a little bit different than what you're accustomed to in NASCAR's Busch Series. We normally have single cars out. We will have groups of cars. In fact, 7 different groups determined by practice speed. Group 1 will be the slower cars, up to Group 7, the faster cars in the final practice. Each group is allowed 6 minutes on the track, and that equates to about 4 or 5 laps in the entire starting grid, determined by the fastest lap you turn within your group, now melted into one 43-car starting field. Glad to have you with us here in Mexico City. Well, driver, I've got to ask you, you've got 6 minutes, 4 or 5 laps on the track. How do you give me your best lap in qualifying?
Well, Jerry, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out there, I'm going to attack this racetrack, but I'm going to hit my marks just perfect. I can't screw up right there at all. I really got to be aggressive through the S's. The S's are one of the most important parts of this racetrack. After I get that done, I can't do anything stupid like miss a gear or wheel hop the car, something like that. Very, very focused, man. I got to be extremely focused in this qualifying run.
Oh, Andy, as a crew chief, what do you tell your driver that he absolutely must do in this session?
The driver absolutely has to stay on the racetrack. If you run off the racetrack, first off, you don't make a good lap. And if you happen to make a good lap early and run off the racetrack, you're going to tear your car up. And NASCAR's going to make you start in the back by having to fix it, being an impound race. And the other thing is starting position is so important at a road course. If you start just in the middle of the field on a road course, you could be over 10 seconds behind on the first lap.
Well, the cars of Group 1 are being pushed into position. Mike Wallace and company headed down toward their cars. There is certainly a wealth of talent assembled here in the NASCAR Busch Series garage, and this field could certainly have an international flavor. With more on that, here's Dave Burns.
Well, Jerry, 6 drivers call Mexico City their home, but it may be the Colombian Juan Pablo Montoya who has the real advantage here. He was fastest in yesterday's practice session. We heard Chris mention that, and he may have the advantage over all the guys who call this their hometown. Juan Pablo will go out late in today's session, hoping to set fast time and set the stage for a winning weekend in Mexico City. Alan Bestwick.
But Dave, several of the most accomplished road course racers in the world are here at the track in Mexico City, looking to be in the field and maybe in victory lane for the NASCAR Busch Series. Drivers like Scott Pruitt, Ron Fellows, and Boris Said. We'll see them later in the qualifying session. No one in the garage would be surprised if they win the pole today or the race tomorrow. Here's Mike Massaro.
Well, Alan, there's 18 drivers in this weekend's field who have never been here before. But while experience is always a factor, it doesn't appear that a lack of it leads to an insurmountable disadvantage. After all, the first 2 winners here in Mexico City, Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin, were both first-time visitors. Jamie Little.
Well, Mike, one thing is for sure this weekend, there will be a new series points leader for the first time in over a year. Kevin Harvick, the 2006 champion, well, he's sitting out this weekend in hopes of scaling back on that schedule. So who's next in line? Carl Edwards. Edwards has played bridesmaid most of the last year, and here in Mexico City, he's finished 3rd and 8th, and he's hoping to up that a little bit, take home his first win and series points lead of the year. Doc?
All right, thank you very much. Great information down in the pits as always. And here's the Dollar General Chevy Monte Carlo for Curtis Davis, the 25-year-old Gaffney, South Carolina driver who is driving for Kevin Harvick Incorporated. And Curtis told us the last time he had been on a road course, he was 15 years old. And by the way, he was in a go-kart. This is the first time he's been in a road course in a NASCAR Busch Series car, although he went to Virginia and tested with car owner Kevin Harvick a few weeks ago.
Well, right now, Jerry, he's in the S's. He's leaving turn 6. It's one of the high-speed parts of this racetrack. As you see him enter there, he's got to hit his marks just perfect. Like I said earlier, drive aggressive, because this turn 6 right here, he's exiting right now, brings you down the back straightaway. And I'll tell you what, if you don't get off that corner real good, you're going to sacrifice a lot of speed. Right now, it looks like Curtis is right on track.
And most of these guys are just getting their speed built up. They're going to have about maybe 4 laps to get it done. And he's going to come across here and probably take one of his first flying laps. And I'd say these first 2 of these laps are probably the most important.
Andy, a lot of guys are not really taping the front ends up a whole lot. I really think that they're probably going to have the fastest speeds in probably the first 2 laps. The more tape you can put on the front of this car, the more air you can put in the tires so the car gets real responsive and real fast. That's all about getting a fast lap here at Mexico.
And moments ago, Curtis Davis got his first introduction to the grassy area outside of turn 8 as he slid up across where Greg Biffle yesterday hit the wall a ton, and Davis gets it back somehow off the grass back on the pavement.
Well, Jerry, that's called a mistake. You don't want to have that happen, because now he's really killed his momentum coming at the start-finish line, and that's where you got to have the most speed possible, off that very last turn 8. Well, look, it's not over. He's got more time to make it up.
Okay, Rusty, this morning walking through the garage area, a number of these drivers would pull you aside and ask you. They knew that you were among the NASCAR Nextel Cup drivers. When you were a regular there, you were very good on the road courses. They were asking you advice. What were you telling them?
I was telling them the biggest thing I got to do is hit their marks. Now, look, a lot of guys say you got to be smooth on a road course. Yeah, you got to do that, but there's many things you need to do. You got to attack the place. You got to be fast, aggressive. You got to take that right front tire and just barely nip those ripple strips. The next corner, take the left front tire and barely nip those ripple strips. And the whole time you're doing that, try to just carry all the momentum you possibly can through these corners. Keep that car moving. Keep it rocking and rolling through those S's. Like you're seeing right now, it's a very, very important part of the racetrack. Above all, stay on the course, man. We don't want them getting off the course. If they wheel hop, slide off like Curtis did, really kills everything.
Yeah, this is Ruben Pardo, by the way, one of the local favorites, and he is a stock car. Whoa, he gets off the course a little bit. Ruben driving the Armando Fitz car, and right now he is the quickest car in this session.
Well, that turn 6, you saw him get off a little bit. Now, that really didn't slow him down much. The car looked a little erratic right there. That's because he's wide open throttle, trying to stay in the gas and not get out of the throttle. Some guys can do it, some can't. Now, here's a key corner here. Off of turn 8, down the front straightaway. He's wide open at the start-finish line. All right, that lap's complete. Let's get another one going here right now. Down into turn 1. Real hard in there. Hard on the brakes. 4th gear. Down to 3rd gear. Down to 2nd gear. Hard right-hand turn he's going to make right now.
Well, we got trouble up in turn 8. This is the 68 car of Tonio. His name is Antonio. They call him Tonio here in Mexico City. Perez in the Telmex Dodge, and he has slid up off the racetrack as he was trying, as you said, Rusty, trying to really hustle this car through turns 7 and 8 or over on the course.
It's so easy to overdrive your race car on a road course. We see him go in there really hot, lock up the brakes, and the rear wheels kind of lock up and scoots off course. He doesn't have a lot of damage here, but sure did kill his lap.
Well, Jared, or Andy, the thing I saw right here is that he's okay if he slides off the course because he's got more time. He can keep going. But it looks to me like he flat-spotted his tires. Now, you obviously can't start the race like that with flat-spotted tires. Looks like he might have to go to the back of the pack if he does change the tires. But, you know, he can go back out and run, something I don't suggest so.
Antonio Perez, the 20-year-old driver, he's part of the Mexican Driver Development Program. They have a Mexican NASCAR stock car series, and he has been part of that. And here's a young man, Ruben Pardo, who just got this ride yesterday for Armando Fitz. His teammate, by the way, Carlos Contreras, is a 2-time sedan champion and one of the favorites for the pole. He'll be coming up later on in our qualifying session. Again, this is group number 1 on the track. There will be 7 groups of 6 or 7 cars, allowed a total of 6 minutes each. The top of your screen, scrolling across, you'll see the 44 of Pardo, then Curtis Davis, then the 34 of Brian Simo, as once again the 68 car of Perez slips off the racetrack.
Yeah, it looks like he's had a problem somewhere right there. I'm sure he's got flat spotted tires. Now, you see Brian Simo coming up behind him in the 34 car, and boy, he's got to get out of the way so he doesn't slow his lap down. That's the thing Simo doesn't want to see, another car in front of him. That's really killed him right now, guys. That's the one thing about European-style qualifying.
You know, you see the same thing that happened to him in the first off-track excursion, but he must have a little too much rear brake in the car. When he hits the brakes, it makes the back wheels slide and kind of just takes the control from the driver.
Well, absolutely. You know, when you go in a corner and you slid off the course one time, Andy, then you go do it again, hey, the brake balance is wrong and you can't control the car. And that's one thing about the Mexican drivers that get these cars for the first time. They haven't worked with these crew chiefs. They really don't understand the dynamics of these cars. Oh, look, this is absolutely killing Brian Simo's lap. And that's one thing you don't want. When you got a car in front of you killing your aerodynamics, killing your momentum, really hurts.
All right, final minutes of the first session as they come by, and the first session is over. The checkered flag waves, and the young man Ruben Pardo in the 44 car. That car right there, the Dodge of Armando Fitz, is the quickest in session number 1. When we come back, Group 2, David Reagan, David Ruderman, and some other cars for their 6 minutes of glory here in qualifying at Mexico City. Back in just a moment. Back in Mexico City, Mexico, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez NASCAR Busch Series at Mexico City qualifying. Some of the favorites waiting to go. Here's one driver who just completed his lap, and that is Curtis Davis. He is second quickest right now. Good run for the Dollar General crew and Kevin Harvick Incorporated Racing, for the young man making his first ever attempt to qualify a Busch Series car on a road course. While some of the cars waiting in line to go out, among this next crew is David Reagan. And Rusty, this young man's had to overcome a lot in a couple of days.
He really has. He ran great yesterday, had a fast lap out there, but he lost the engine. They're going to have to change engines now, and because of that, he'll be starting tailback. He's qualifying right now, guys, just to get a good pit selection for tomorrow's racing here in Mexico.
Yeah, the way the NASCAR lets these crews pick their pit stalls is in the order of qualifying. The faster cars get the early picks, and so that's why these guys will go out there and still try to make a good qualifying lap just to get that good pit stall.
Here's a young man who is not only a rookie in NASCAR's Busch Series, he is a rookie in the Nextel Cup Series. And oh, by the way, he's leading the Nextel Cup Rookie of the Year point standings by virtue of finishing 5th in the Daytona 500. Group 2 is on the racetrack. Our current pole sitter standing by with Alan Bestwick.
Ruben Pardo talking here with Carlos Contreras, his teammate for the Fitz Racing team here this week. And I'm going to step in. Ruben, you didn't get this ride all except for yesterday. You've got an awful lot of smiles on your face about your qualifying performance.
I'm very excited. The team worked a lot. Yesterday I done practice and I feel very good. I'm very happy because Family Dollar support me and get Family Dollar give me this opportunity. I'm very happy.
A lot of animated body language when he got out of the race car. Doc, one thing's universal in racing, they always thank the sponsor, huh?
Absolutely. He understands where it comes from. He was so thrilled to be able to get the opportunity. You watch David Reagan, one of the drivers in session number 2. And across the top of your screen, you'll see the drivers who completed session number 1. And that is, of course, their time on the racetrack.
Now, this part of the racetrack, he's going down into turn 7 right now to enter the short back straightaway. Soft right-hand turn all the way out. This is the last turn that leads to the front straightaway. He's got to be wide open here, a lot of throttle in it, carrying a lot of momentum. Back on the course, got to be real careful right there. A lot of guys slide off in the grass. You know, at the end of this front straightaway, a lot of speed. We talked about earlier, almost 180 miles per hour. He's going to be down out of 4th gear into 3rd gear, hard brake, down to 2nd gear. See the nose fall on the car. Hard right-hand turn now into turn 1. Now, Andy, real crucial part of the racetrack right here. This is where the guys lose a lot of speed.
Well, they got to turn right, they got to turn left, they got to stay off of these curbs too. These curbs can really upset the car. You want to try to use every inch of the racetrack, but you don't want to hit those curbs.
Now, this is a part leading into turn 4. Turn 4, you see Reagan coming into now, is a part where it's got 2 turns in it. really, you know, a real road racing turn. That's where the road racers really excel, going to the turn 4.
All right, here's Todd Cleaver in the 16 car that he will be sharing with Greg Biffle and others this year in the Roush Fenway racing efforts, and he is currently the quickest of this group, which puts him right now second overall.
Boy, you see him carry that left front wheel up in the air, just missing that curb. That's kind of neat how these cars shift that weight and carry the left front wheel.
Yeah, it's cool to watch. I like it when they lift the tires off the ground. It reminds me of Sears Point, the old Riverside track, where you see these cars coming through the corners sky high. I mean, he's really hustling this thing.
As you watch a telemetry, Rush, you occasionally see just a touch of the brake. But you see a 1 or 2 bars of brake light. There he jams the brakes. Or as Andy, what did you say yesterday, Andy?
And stomp the brakes.
He stomps the brakes, yeah.
Now, you want to see a lot of brake now. He's coming off of turn 8 right now, heading down this long front straightaway. Let's take a look at that one. Now, you know, that really didn't slow him up right there. He still had most of the car on the track. He's wide open. Now, let's take a look at the brake when we get down to turn 1 here. You're going to see this baby full pegged and on for quite a while also.
Watch the speed at the end of this straightaway. Fastest part of the course, we saw him hit 170 a moment ago.
Hard brakes right now, off the brakes, and through that crucial turn 1 and turn 2.
That is a 90-degree turn. It's like coming down the street and turning into your driveway at, what, 125 miles an hour?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got to make a lot of ground through this. You know, you see the wheels coming off the ground. A lot of these teams here today at Mexico, I'm hearing they're running very, very soft front springs and real big sway bars. And if they don't have the rear of the car set up correctly, it'll cause those tires to come off the ground, because that sway bar in front of these cars is so strong that when that car rolls over, it tries to pick that wheel up off the ground. And that's one thing you don't want a whole lot of. But it looks like Todd Cleaver's doing a really good job now with that selection and his team as far as what he's picked here. And right now he's fastest on the racetrack.
And behind him in this session, as you're watching Todd Cleaver, is the 10 car of Dave Blaney, who certainly had his troubles this weekend. This is a backup car because he was the first driver on the track yesterday to have his troubles at the end of the long straightaway. He had to go to a backup, a brand new car. Here are the fan first car for Todd Braun Motorsports.
Yeah, I talked to Dave this morning in the garage area. They got on the racetrack just for a minute with this car at the very end of practice yesterday, and the power steering wasn't working, so they had to come right back in. So these are really the first fast laps he's had in the car.
Tell you what, this team has been really good. They've had their act together. Their Toyota team has ran well. You know, the first couple of races of the year, I'd say he's probably definitely the strongest Toyota. But to come here and have this crash yesterday was totally something that they didn't expect.
All right, here's what happened in the early session yesterday morning. Coming in the straightaway, suddenly the car veers abruptly right and head on into the wall.
Yeah, we originally thought that maybe he wheel hopped the car and it caused him to lose control, but we went down and talked to the team, and they said the right front bolts on the right front A-frame came out and they lost control. We talked to the crew chief. That's what they told us, and that was something that's very hard to believe. Very seldom does that happen. They just didn't have the suspension bolts tightened, and because of that, they wiped out a good race car.
Yeah, Blaney, who won his first NASCAR Busch Series event at Lowe's Motor Speedway last fall, had a great, an impressive second-place finish at Daytona in the season opener, and now in a backup car here, and right up on that curbing.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing. A lot of the drivers use a lot of the curb to get around the corner. I really think it's driver technique. You know, you watch Juan Pablo Montoya yesterday. He was just tickling those corners. You never saw that car getting off the ground at all. And he said he prefers to do it that way. Now, Scott Pruitt, his teammate, he uses a lot of the curbs just like Dave Blaney did.
All right, that lap a moment ago makes Blaney the fastest in this session and second quickest overall. So he has now taken the lead in this session with a speed of 100.626 miles per hour, 90.084 seconds for his one lap on this 2.518 mile road course. So session 2 is over. And Blaney the quickest in this session, which puts him second overall in qualifying. Session 3 coming up.
And welcome back live. It's qualifying day for tomorrow's NASCAR Busch Series race in Mexico City. The Mexican fans happy because Ruben Pardo, one of 7 Mexican drivers in this race, the fastest so far in qualifying, but guys like Montoya, Pruitt, Hamlin, Bifflin, Edwards still to come. We've got Tim Brewer, our crew chief emeritus, joining me in our pit road studio. All the drivers talk about how much fun this course is, the third different kind of race course in 3 weeks for Busch. For the crew chiefs and the crews, not so much fun. A lot of headaches to go with the tummy aches down here, huh?
Well, there's a lot of headaches involved, but still, yeah, you come to a road course race, hey, brakes, prime example. When Rusty was talking about this car getting down the corner a while ago, hey, that thing buried that nose. You got to keep the brakes on these cars. You got to have good brake bias. Got to have good brake balance. You can get that, you're going to be in pretty good shape for the race. Consistency as far as chassis, we have to go down and get forward bite up off the corners. Prime deal here. You can't give it up. Acceleration, back to the brakes, transmission. Be kind to it. In and out of gear, up through the gears, be smooth. At the end of the day, it's going to be a really good effort if you got all 4 gears working at the end of the day.
Very heavy-duty brakes you prepared on the oval course. Let's talk about race strategy now. It's 80 laps around this course, 200 miles, 7,500 feet. The elevation plays into it with the fuel strategy.
Yeah. Anytime you get to a situation to where we're on a target here, we have whatever the rest of the guys do, we don't really care about, because as soon as we got that thing full of fuel, we got good tires on the race car, we're going to try to make it to the checkered flag. Track position, very important here. We're in a situation where if we're out front, we can dictate what's happening to these things, and we can control the guys behind us. So we're going to be in pretty good efforts of winning the race.
One aspect of qualifying, of course, to pick those pit stalls, and pit stops so important. You were saying some of the more powerful Busch teams have their Nextel Cup over-the-wall guys flying in here Sunday morning just for this race to try to grab those precious couple of seconds.
You can't give up anything on pit road. That's the reason. If you're a little slack in one area, tire changer, jack man, what have you, you're going to bring that A team in here, because it's going to be definite. You come in 5th, you go out first, you're going to have a better opportunity of winning this race. So bring your A team.
A team on the way Sunday. Jerry, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, guys. As we have group number 3 on the racetrack, you're looking at Todd Souza, a 42-year-old driver from California who started out driving in dirt, ran NASCAR Southwest Tour, the Grand National West Series. And as you watch him try to get his car up to speed, let's check in, and Mike is caught up with Dave Blaney, our second fastest qualifier thus far.
Well, Jerry, Dave Blaney was the fastest in Group 2, but still a little bit disappointed. Why?
No, it probably shouldn't be. That was realistically, that's probably all we were going to get. First lap on the car, can't crash that one, and driver doesn't even have 6 or 7 laps yet either. So that's all right. We got all day tomorrow figured out.
How difficult have things gone having to go to the backup car here so far?
Well, we just didn't get laps. We didn't get any laps in it yesterday, and but and I hadn't been here before either, so I only got a few laps in the first car before it got wrecked. So it's been hard, but it's not a terribly difficult track, but it just little bits here and there add up. So like I said, we got tomorrow.
Obviously a hard crash on Friday. What went wrong?
Well, something in the front suspension gave up, and it just turned right on the straightaway and got away before I could get a hold of it. But and I probably made it worse getting into brakes, but never had that happen before, I don't think. And you can always took me a long time to learn how to crash on the straightaway, but I did it.
Good news is you walked away safely. And, well, Jerry, this guy should be a factor. He's got a little bit of experience in road course racing, but he's never been to this track before.
All right, but right now he stands 3rd overall in the overall qualifying session. This car, by the way, of Todd Souza, you see that ribbon on the hood of the car? That is for breast cancer awareness. He has turned left with a cure on the back of his rear deck there. He has been a long-time driver on the West Coast trying to bring awareness for breast cancer research. And certainly that's one of his...
It's your money lap. Don't overdrive it now. Let's go.
One of his passions, as you hear his crew chief now talking to him, that's Michael Munoz, talking on the radio, telling him, Rusty, not to try to be too aggressive down in turn 1.
Yeah, he calls it his money lap. Don't mess up now. And that mess up means stay on the course. Don't overbreak it. Don't miss a gear or something like that. And as we were talking, no. Look at here, Jerry, we got a new leader. Number 28 car, Emmanuel Go, Jr.
Herman Quiroga Jr. is in this session in the 28 car. As you look at the 36 coming by, and that is Brent Sherman. And there is Herman Quiroga.
I did pretty good pronouncing that.
You did outstanding.
I was really worried about that. You're talking. I look up at the screen, and he pops up number 1. I'm going, how am I going to pronounce that name? I tell you what, I really like this style of qualifying, because right now we got about 14 cars that already qualified. And if we would have used a single car qualifying way in the past, we'd be here for 3 or 4 hours getting these things qualified. But right now, they're sending them out about 1 car every 20 seconds. So they're not going to run up on each other unless somebody gets off the course or has a problem. I really like this European style qualifying these guys are doing.
Well, Brent Sherman, Andy, is very well accustomed to turning left and right at high speeds. A former Air Force fighter pilot who has flown everything the Air Force had and is doing awfully well. And here's the 28 car, by the way. Herman Quiroga Jr. This is the car that is currently the pole sitter. And what a lap, 101.667 miles per hour. The car owned by Jay Robinson and Troy Stafford. These are Dale Earnhardt Incorporated engines, so he has no lack of horsepower.
Yeah, these guys are, these Dale Earnhardt Incorporated engines have got plenty of power. They just got to figure out how to get it to the ground. And, I really like this style of qualifying, where you got these faster cars coming in behind the other guys, and it's really fun to watch these guys, how they move up in the standings.
You folks in the States might not have heard of these drivers. I mean, at least I haven't, But, we're going international now right now with ESPN. We're shooting this all over the world. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people around the world that knows these drivers. Just because we don't know them, hey, around the world they know them.
You see the X's on the brake ducts. They've got tape on these brake ducts so they can get less airflow through the front of the car and make more downforce. They'll have to untape that for the race so they can cool the brakes. And that's why they put the big X on there, so they don't forget to untape it.
No, man, I did that one time too. I forgot to untape it, and I burnt the brakes down on a road course. And we're going, what in the world happened? We forgot to take the tape off because the front of the car was black, and we had black tape on there. And now you can see it. Hey, these guys aren't going to make that same mistake. Look at me. Here's a big X. Take it off.
Well, for more on Herman Quiroga, let's check in. Whoa, with Alan Bestwick. Alan, he slipped a little bit.
Yeah, he'll catch his breath there and regroup for a second if he doesn't call it quits. Quiroga is a 26-year-old from Mexico City. He never met the members of this race team until Friday morning when he sat in the car for the first time. The crew chief, Steve Plattenberger, told me we had no idea what his credentials were, what we were doing here. And then the kid went out and practiced their car. And this team was pumped up. They said to me, this young man can drive a race car. And later this season, folks in the States may see Quiroga. He's going to run some NASCAR Busch East Series races as he tries to work his way through that the NASCAR diversity program. Maybe we'll see him in the Busch Series beyond just here in Mexico City.
These drivers are getting a chance to drive these cars. Say it is a dream come true, not only just to be able to drive, but to be on the same racetrack with some of the all-time greats in road racing, an Adrian Fernandez or Juan Pablo Montoya. It'd be like getting a chance to play golf with Tiger Woods at the Masters. These guys are living a dream. Well, qualifying continues, and yes, we have Juan Pablo Montoya, Steve Wallace, Adrian Fernandez, Bobby Hamilton Jr., and last year's winner, Denny Hamlin. That and more coming up when we come back for Busch Series qualifying. And the sights and sounds of what is a very picturesque culture here in Mexico City. And there is one very happy native driver, Herman Quiroga Jr. He is currently our fastest qualifier. What a job he has done in the 28 car thus far. But among those waiting to go, Juan Pablo Montoya, and a couple of drivers have missed their opportunities. What happens when they do miss a shot, Dave Burns?
Yeah, if it's not excused by NASCAR, Jerry, there is a situation that they have to follow, which NASCAR Busch Series race director Joe Balish explained to me this morning. If you miss your spot in your group, you are allowed to go to the tail end of the next group. You must get your car ready by that time. If you don't make it by that time, then you will not get a qualifying lap and you'll just start at the rear of the field. And that is in fact what's happened to Brad Keselowski in the 23 car. They had a cracked fuel neck to their fuel cell and they had to replace it. NASCAR found that in inspection. It was a unsafe situation, so they made him replace it. He missed his spot in the first group. He missed his spot at the end of the second group, and so Brad will not get to take a lap, and he'll start on the tail end of this field. Jamie Little?
Well, Dave, another one of those drivers that was forced to go to the back of the field after practice yesterday, P.J. Jones. We talked about defending champion Kevin Harvick, and that 21 car is where he won that championship. P.J. Jones is in it. P.J., I know this is one of the best opportunities you've had for equipment. What happened, though, at the end of practice?
Well, yesterday we had a little bit of an engine problem in 3 of the RCR motors, and so we changed it. Some of them were precautionary, and we'll have to start dead last tomorrow, but, I think, the car's pretty good on long runs, and driving for RCR has just been a dream come true, and AutoZone, and, so I think that tomorrow we'll put it up front.
Well, guys, P.J. Jones getting ready to head out. That is, even though he starts in the back, this qualifying effort is for pit selection. Doc?
Absolutely, Jamie. P.J. Very good when he ran the Champ Cars and Kart. Finished second to Juan Pablo Montoya, his best open wheel finish at Nazareth. May have a shot to run with him here up front, but then have a long way to go from the back of the field on Sunday. Here is Michel Jourdain Jr., guys, and what a lap he has put in.
Well, I tell you, Michel Jourdain Jr., he is a great road racer. You see him right now accelerating off that very fast turn 6 down the back straightaway. And I'll tell you what, he is really getting it done. He's P1 right now. He's the fastest car that's qualified so far, but unfortunately, he's another guy that had to change engines, and he'll go tailback. He's just going out doing this hotshot run right now to get a good selection for the pits. It's fun following him along, Andy. I tell you, this guy can flat drive these road courses.
Yeah, do you think he's just racing or qualifying for a pit selection, or is it a little bit of pride involved too?
Well, there's a lot of pride involved. You know it is. He's in his home country right here. He wants to show off. He wants to tell everybody, hey, he can get the job done. It wasn't his fault that the engine blew up. And if it wouldn't have blown up, I'd have probably been on the front row.
Michel Jourdain Jr. has one top 10 finish in 23 NASCAR Busch Series restarts. And yes, that is the 17 car that Matt Kenseth drove to victory. A doubleheader wins at California Speedway 1 week ago for Roush Fenway Racing. The 30-year-old driver from Mexico City, making his 24th career start here in NASCAR's Busch Series.
Saw the car slide out a little bit right there. Nice start in S's. This is the most critical part. I was talking to Juan Pablo Montoya. He said, a lot of the guys I'm watching are really giving up a lot through the S's. They're overdriving it. Michel Jourdain looks very smooth through here. Right front corner, right on the ripple strips there. Out of the throttle, back in the throttle. Now the fast lap, you need to go wide open here. See that? Third gear never lifted, Andy. He stayed in that baby wide open. And boy, if you can do that, you're going to get a good lap.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got a good handling car. We saw him fishtail a little bit. You can see that back end step out. We call that loose. It looks like he's just going to call it good there and come on in the pit.
Rusty, watching Michel Jourdain, looks like he didn't use the ripple strips or the ripple bumps very much at all. We've seen some of the other drivers use those to help just turn the car and go all the way up across those ripples.
Well, a lot of them do that, Jerry. You don't have to do it that way. It's all preferred. It's all driver technique.
All right, we are being told the problems for the 14 car, Kyle Krisiloff in the Clamor Girl Ford. And here moments ago, up in turn 8, which has been sort of a trouble spot.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, Kyle did a great job saving that thing because that is one of the fastest parts of the racetrack. You're all the way down to the turn 7, coming off of turn 8. He loses it there, but he saved it. Good job.
We saw Greg Biffle get loose just like that and get over there in that grass. His wheels just got off in that grass, and then he hammered that outside ball.
Nice and smooth there.
And by the way, today, as I went by in the garage here this morning, I wished Kyle happy birthday. He turned 21 today. And he said, you know, what a day. My first ever stock car on a road course. It's my birthday, so maybe something good will happen. He grew up, you know, running Formula Fords. He ran the Toyota Atlantics for a couple of years, finished second in the Atlantics, and so has some experience, but not in a heavier stock car on a road course.
So what's that mean? Tequila tonight for the kid or what? Or, hey, what's a drinking age here in Mexico anyway, Jerry? I don't even know what it is. You don't know either, do you?
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know.
He's probably thinking, hey, I'm 21, I can do what I want, so. We wish you well and happy birthday, and he did a great job saving it. Maybe that was his birthday present, keeping it on a racetrack.
There are a group of drivers here that are just, it's amazing how the age in NASCAR and Nextel Cup and now in the NASCAR Busch Series continues to move down, where you get these young teenagers that have gotten so much experience in the NASCAR Busch East or Busch West Series are now coming to run in the NASCAR Busch Series full-time.
It's totally different. I mean, people talk about ages, how young these guys are now. Do you know how old I was when I first started NASCAR Cup? When I got into Cup, I was 27 years old, man. And now these guys are in at 19.
They wouldn't look at you today. They'd say you're an old man. They wouldn't put you in the car.
They'd say, I'm too old, man. Hit the road. We don't need you, dude.
Yeah, but you were still putting it on those kids in your last year out there. So
I think Harry Gant was 38 when he ran his first NASCAR Cup Series race. So, and that was considered to be prime.
All right, well, that's the end of the first this particular session. And I'll tell you what, that was a pretty quick session right there. Michel Jourdain, Bobby Hamilton Jr., these guys really stepped it up.
So Jourdain Jr., Hamilton Jr., Scott Wimmer, great runs by those drivers. How about the youngest drivers? Here you see Kyle Krisiloff, all the way down to 18-year-old J.R. Fitzpatrick. Some young ones in this field here today. Back in a moment. Back live in Mexico City, Mexico. NASCAR Busch Series qualifying. As a number of drivers waiting to go out, Michelle Jourdain Jr. right now at the top of the speed charts. Bobby Hamilton Jr., the McDonald's car, great effort there. Scott Wimmer driving for Richard Childress, third quickest overall. Herman Quiroga Jr., his first ever trip to the NASCAR Busch Series, fourth quickest. And you see Ruben Pardo, last year's Rookie of the Year in the NASCAR Busch E-Series in the top 5. Well, Alan Bestwick standing by with our provisional pole sitter.
Michelle Jourdain Jr. talking over his qualifying effort with crew chief Drew Blickensderfer and the team owner of Roush Fenway Racing, Jack Roush. Step in for just a moment. A minute 28 and change for your qualifying lap. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, we had to change an engine, so we're starting in the back. So we just wanted to get a conservative lap. I think, you know, there's a lot of guys that are going to go a lot faster, but you know, we're not going to have a chance to go for the pole. So we just want to get a decent pit selection and have the car in one piece for the race.
Starting in the back tomorrow on a course where it can be difficult to pass. I know you've thought about it already. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's, you know, I think we're just going to have to go and be really patient tomorrow, especially the first 2/3 of the race. And, you know, hopefully we get a good strategy. Hopefully the yellows go our way. And, you know, if we have a good complete car there at the end, I think, you know, we can have a shot for sure.
Thanks for the time. Current pole sitter, Michelle Jourdain Jr., and we go to Mike Massaro.
Well, Bobby Hamilton Jr. is listed second on the board right now, but he said his lap wasn't perfect. Where'd you miss it?
I don't know. Just, you know, it's hard to tell what's fast and what's not here because you're shifting gears and so forth. But, you know, that's incredible for me. I mean, I'm like lost to these places. And but you know what? These guys ran good here last year, so it's more car than it is me. You know, everybody that's sitting behind this deal, John Lewicki at McDonald's and Smithfield, everybody at Ford, we're building this thing, and we're going to get it better. I mean, it shows what kind of equipment we got. I think we're second right now overall, which we won't end up there, but I think it'd be in top 15, which is huge for me at a road course because I'm like lost as Easter egg here. So I hadn't wheel hopped none yet. I've been really trying to focus on my shift points and driving in the corners straight. Everything. Ron Fellows drove me around here yesterday morning and learned a lot. So I'm glad to be. You know, normally I'd be throwing stuff and kicking animals right now because I don't like these places. But it goes to show if you got good equipment like we got here today, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's pretty cool. You're second, third, jumping. Everything you're not supposed to do in a stock car, we're to get to do here today, so we're looking forward to it.
Well, it's good to see you're not throwing anything, but I'm going to throw something to Jamie Little.
Thanks so much, Mike. Carlos Contreras, one of the locals from Mexico City right here. You're going to have all the fans out here rooting for you tomorrow, Carlos. But you practiced very well yesterday. You're getting ready to qualify. What are we looking forward to seeing?
Well, we are very excited. This is the third time with the NASCAR race in Mexico, so I'm very happy. The car was pretty good yesterday. The Family Dollar Dodge was very, very fast. Actually, we were the fastest car for a while in second practice. So Montoya, he beat us. So, but today is the day. So we are ready. We are almost ready for our qualifying. The fastest six cars. So I'm pretty sure the Family Dollar. I'm very happy with the Fitz Motorsport and the Family Dollar Dodge. We're ready for the pole.
All right, Carlos Contreras. First time we've seen him in the 22, Doc.
All right, thank you very much, Carlos Contreras, one of the favorites here, a two-time, as you saw, Sedan Series Mustang Cup champion in Mexico City. More qualifying to come, some of the heavy hitters on their way. Can they knock Michelle Jourdain off the pole? We'll find out in a moment.
We're about set for Group 5 of qualifying, and of course tomorrow, various ways and 2 languages you can enjoy the NASCAR Busch Series event in Mexico City. ESPN2 will have the race, but ESPN Deportes in Spanish will be simulcast on ESPN. The action streams live on ESPN360.com. The full circle coverage begins Sunday, 1:30 Eastern time. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Group 5 about ready. Let's go back to Jerry and the guys in the booth.
All right, thanks, Chris. Some of the heavier hitters getting ready to go out. And here's a 25 car of David Gilliland. He's driving for Ed Renzi. Remember, this is the young man that set on the pole for Robert Yates at Daytona, this year's Daytona 500. And here is the 1 car of J.J. Yaley, the James Finch-owned car. J.J. among the quicker cars in his session yesterday. The Navy-sponsored car coming out, Shane Huffman, driving for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And Here's a young man, Stephen Like, the City Financial. That's the Robert Yates car. He was very impressive for a young man who doesn't have a lot of road course experience in a stock car. And, of course, as you heard Jamie Little mention earlier, this car with Carl Edwards, he should become our points leader after this race because Kevin Harvick in front of him in points is not here for the weekend.
Here's another guy. You see the X's on the front of his grill to make sure they don't mess up and unplug those grills. But Carl's been pretty good at the road course. Had a huge crash here last year in practice and really destroyed the car back when they had the chicane in the front straightaway. You see the white lines on the track? That's where the chicane used to be. That's been removed, and that's let these speeds get up close to 180 miles an hour now. This is a guy we're going to keep our eye on because he's got a great car. And I believe this guy might just pop up to #1 if he keeps on the course and really has a good smooth lap, yet aggressive around this place.
I got to think he's got one eye on that championship too, so he doesn't want to make any mistakes. He wants to get a good solid starting spot and get a good pit spot, just have a good solid race. And I know he wants to win, but being solid when you're trying to go for a championship is sometimes just as important.
Well, the time he has to beat is an 88.489 seconds, 102.440 miles per hour, currently set by Michel Jourdain Jr. in the Roush Fenway car number 17.
We're trying to get a camera around to the rest of these cars also. P.J. Jones is also out there driving a Richard Childress entry. But I'll tell you what, when you got 7 cars on a racetrack, Jerry, it's pretty hard to follow every single one of them, isn't it?
As you look at Carl Edwards and the Scott's colors, Carl, of course, a runner-up in the NASCAR Busch Series last year, finished second in points, 4 wins. He is the 2005 NASCAR Busch Series Rookie of the Year. And he is driving the entire season. One of 5 drivers who are going to run double duty this year, run Busch and Cup, NASCAR Busch Series and NASCAR Nextel Cup. Here the quickest on the track, and J.J. Yaley once again in this car. James Finch on Miccosukee Chevrolet is the quickest in this section, and that puts him second overall, Andy.
Yeah, we want to get a little bit more. We see some smoke out of that left front. I don't know what that is, or whether it's a tire rub or maybe a brake, something on the brakes that got hot, maybe smoking. But he needs to improve on this a little bit. Looks like he may even have an oil line loose or something. He's got something smoking. I'm sure they're going to have to take a look at this when he comes in, but he still needs to improve his lap.
JJ, a 30-year-old driver out of Phoenix, Arizona, still puffing smoke, goes off in the grass and gets it back up on the racetrack.
This is definitely some engine smoke. It's coming out of the engine bay. We can see it coming out from underneath the car. Now we see it out the back.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a tire rub because the tires have got a lot of clearance around the fenders. You saw some of it coming out from underneath the car. You see the brown oil coming down from under that engine, it looks like, guys. So that's something they don't want to have happen. And if they got to work in this car, that means they got to go tailback.
All right, as you watch the 1 car, pretty interesting story for Greg Biffle in the 37 car, the Yardman Ford for the Bruco Motorsports team. And here is Greg Biffle. Now, this is a backup car. It is a brand new car they had built to run at Montreal. They did not plan on running this car here at Mexico, but in the final session yesterday, they lost their primary car over in Turn 8. In fact, we will show you what happened with the car he wanted to run here in the last session yesterday afternoon. And Rusty, Turn 7 and 8 have been very difficult for a lot of drivers, including Greg Biffle.
Well, he got into Turn 8 awful hot. And see, got all of him to Marcus and into the grass. And he got out later in his interview and said, why'd they put that grass there? Look at it, rips the whole left-hand side off this car. That team were crazy, getting this stuff all fixed back up. And what a hard hit, Andy.
Yeah, now they're down to their last car. They got their backup car out here right now, so Greg's got to be careful not to wreck this car. This is the only one they have now, so if he'd happen to wreck this car, he'd be in real trouble.
But you know what, guys? They did not get this car. This is a brand new car. They had to get it out and get it pieced together and with the engine. So he has had no laps of practice, nothing until right now. He's been on the track, what, 3 laps? Make it 4 laps. He has only 4 laps on the racetrack with this car and currently is being shown 6th on the speed charts.
He's doing a good job with that little bit of time. Now, those guys, these crew guys are really good at preparing these cars and getting these things just right because they know the brakes they got to have. They know their gear ratios. They just put this thing together the best they possibly can, and they're really relying on Greg to pull them out of this situation right now.
And guess what, guys? We have a new provisional pole sitter. It's the fastest guy in this session. And there he comes. That is Carl Edwards, has just clocked 102.536 mile per hour lap, and Carl is our current provisional pole sitter atop the speed charts.
That's a pretty good lap, but I'm not sure that's going to hold up. And I see PK right there, his crew chief, Pierre Cattell. They want just a little bit more. That's not quite enough. The guys yesterday could run a little faster than that, some of the faster cars. So looks like he's probably slowing it up here a little, though, taking that lap they've got, but don't think that'll be quite good enough for the pole.
You know one thing I'm surprised about, Andy? His grill. Look at the grill above the X in the center. It's wide open. He's pulling a lot of air. In fact, he's even got the brake ducts open. I don't think you need to have that much air, and if they were taped off more, I believe that car would probably go a little bit quicker yet, but you can tell they were going for maybe their second or their third lap.
Well, they don't want to get that engine hot either. Like I said, they're running for a championship. They don't want to have to change engines. They don't want to mess this thing up. And the Roush cars, some of the Roush cars have had some engine problems. So they're probably just kind of taking care of the engine, being a little conservative, and going out there and just getting a good solid lap.
Carl Edwards qualified third for his first ever road course event here in NASCAR Busch competition back in 2005. Hoping to keep that car on the front row.
Yeah, great job, Carl. They're going to probably want you to come down pit road, all right? So watch Spindler when you come down pit road.
He is actually still about 0.2 of a second slower than his best lap in the final session yesterday, but right now he is the quickest car of the sessions that we have had go out, of the groups we've had go out to qualify Group 5.
Well, Jerry, must add, too, I believe it's hotter out there today. There's been more cars in the racetrack. I don't think the racetrack is in good a condition today as it was yesterday.
You see his best finish, third in 2005. And there is Jack Roush. He gives a big thumbs up to his driver, Carl Edwards. Right now, Roush has the top two cars in qualifying, and Carl Edwards and Michel Jourdain Jr. Edwards, the best in Group 5, and right now the best overall. More Busch Series qualifying when we come back. Just some of the picturesque culture that is Mexico City, Mexico, the second largest city in the world. NASCAR Busch Series qualifying coming your way live. The third consecutive year the NASCAR Busch Series cars have raced south of the border here in Mexico City. And right now our pole sitter is that man right there, the Roush Fenway driver, Carl Edwards. And let's take a lap around this historic racetrack. Rusty?
Right now we're coming down the front straight into a hard right-hand turn 1, off of turn 3, down into turn 4. Now we're entering the S's. The most important corner, turn 6. We just left it. A lot of straightaway speed off of turn 8 and back to the start-finish line. That's a lap in Mexico City. Now, one of the most crucial parts of the racetrack, the hairpin going into turn 1 right here. Now look, a lot of guys slide off the racetrack and they go from 1, they go through the dirt, clear over to turn 3. I've seen guys pick up some spots right there. If they wheel hop or do something wrong, they're going to end out there in that grass. Exit turn 3 and you're back down to turn 4. Pretty complicated racetrack, pretty easy to drive. You can make a lot of mistakes here.
And this track opened in 1962. We are at 7,500 feet altitude, named after the Rodriguez brother, Ricardo and Pedro. And by the way, Ricardo lost his life here in practice for that Formula One race in 1962. And you see the long and very historic history of this racetrack. So many different kinds of venues that they have hosted here over the years. Well, currently our pole sitter is standing by with Alan Bester.
It's Carl Edwards just talking it over with his crew. You were all smiles when you finished that lap. What did you think?
Well, it was about second faster than we've run all weekend, so I'm really happy with it. I have a feeling it's only going to stand up here for about another minute or so before Boris gets back around, but it's just a lot of fun. Really glad to be here in Mexico City. Scott's Miracle Grow, everybody's done a great job getting us down here and having fun.
What will you be happy with as an end result?
For the weekend?
For qualifying, where this ends up after some of these guys run.
Boy, if we can be in the top 8 or so, that'd be great to get to race up there with those guys. And hopefully this will stand up for that. It'll probably be a top 10. That's what I'm hoping for, 8th or 10th. And if we can survive the race and have a good point stay, that'd be great.
All right, thanks, Carl.
All right, right now, 88.406 seconds, 102.536 miles per hour is the time to beat. And here is one of the all-time favorites in Mexico, Adrian Fernandez. His best finish here, 10th. He has a 10th and a 12th here in his 2 starts, driving the Lowe's Chevy for Rick Hendrick Motorsports. And Adrian Fernandez, one of the most popular drivers and overall athletes in Mexico. In fact, this year he was voted one of the 300 most influential people in the history of this country. That's how influential Adrian Fernandez is.
I'll tell you, that's pretty good. And it's a great choice for Rick Hendrick to put him in. It looks like he's locked the tires up just a little bit there. Got offline just a little bit. But Adrian's very, very good at this racetrack. Had a hard crash a year ago off of turn 6 and got in the wall. Look at that rear end come around in that thing, Andy. He's really holding on that car tight.
Yeah, he's driving it hard. This is his home track. You know, he's just pumped up to the max. He's got to be careful not to overdrive his car, though, because if you get too pumped up and you overdrive the car, you'll lock those wheels up, slide off the track, and it just isn't good for your lap. So he's just got to calm down just a little bit, hit his marks, and he'll get a good qualifying lap.
Well, this is something that Adrian went through last year. He really drives his car hard, and some say maybe it's too hard, but, you know, he always seems like he gets the results out of it. He's fun to watch because the tires are in the air, the thing's sliding around. In fact, right now he's coming up on that really important turn 6 where he crashed a year ago, that he needs to carry that speed to get down that front straight. Right there off, he did a good job there. Last year he got in that grass and hit the wall. Wide open down that back straightaway now. Perfect exit.
Now watch him on the watch his hands on the steering wheel here in that turn.
Well, he hit the curb just a little bit there, and he's really sawing that thing now. Jerry holding on to it because he doesn't want to get that left rear tire off in that grass and really sacrifice that lap. That's one thing you don't want to do.
Those guys are really busy inside that car. They got to steer it, they got to shift it, they got to brake it. It's really a lot of work going on inside there.
And how about our new pole sitter, who was also our old pole sitter? He was the pole sitter a year ago, Boris Said, in the exact same Dodge he drove last year, the number 9 car. And Boris can really get it done driving the Evernham Dodge.
I'll tell you what, this guy is flat a school teacher. He has taught so many kids and different drivers how to run on a road course. He's won all over the world, and this doesn't surprise me at all. He was the pole sitter last year, and if you ever want to watch a perfect qualifying lap, you watch a guy like Boris Said. He flat knows how to get it done at all these road courses.
Boris Said, a 2-time pole sitter in NASCAR Busch Series competition. We mentioned he won the pole here a year ago, also won it at Watkins Glen back in 1998. 11 Busch Series starts, former Trans Am Series champion. And this session here has a lot of very, very quick cars in it. As you watch the crews now watching, that Mike Shiplett and company, Paul Wolfe. Mike Shiplett watching as the 9 car on the racetrack. Boris Said, and just like we said a moment ago, these guys are so close. Ron Fellows now puts up a good lap in the 10 car.
We're down to the last 2 groups, and the pole sitter's likely going to come right out of these 2 groups, and these guys are hoping they can post a lap, put a little pressure on those guys in the last group that maybe they'll overdrive their car, and maybe they can get that pole.
These are some real professional drivers here. The Fellows is another world-class road racer that really has always done a lot. He's Kevin Harvick's car right now. Right now, he's the fastest car on the racetrack at 127.99 for speed. And this is something that's it's very, very expected also out of Fellows. I definitely expected him to run the way he did.
Ron Fellows was the last non-American to win a NASCAR Busch Series race. Ron, of course, from Toronto or Windsor, Ontario. He has 3 NASCAR Busch Series wins to his credit, all 3 of them coming at Watkins Glen International in 98, 2000, and 2001. This car he is driving, by the way, is owned by Kevin Harvick. Kevin drove it at California. Tony Stewart drove this car down at Daytona Beach.
So we watch his speed right here. He's going to gain up here to, close to 170 miles an hour. And he's got to put the brakes on really hard and slow that thing down. You see how much speed they have to bleed off here. All the way down to 56 miles an hour in turn 1.
It's all. You can see it's all about having a rhythm and keeping this thing on the racetrack and getting through these S's. And that's where these road racers are so doggone good at, especially a guy like Fellows. We took a look at Boris Said and Kevin Harvick. I tell you, his team, we need to talk about that. He really, really prepares his equipment well. He's got a beautiful shop up there in North Carolina, good engines. Tell you what, you hear that first? That's a good feel for the driver. I always like to hear it, man. You're P1. Makes me feel good.
Yeah, you come in with that chest all blowed up. Say, okay, boys, go get you some. See if you can beat that.
They've even got a post in the middle of the front of this car for a windshield wiper.
Yeah, these Busch cars on the road course, they'll run if it rains. So they got rain tires, they've got windshield wipers, and they're prepared to run if we happen to get some rain. Now, they wouldn't run in real heavy rains, but if we had a light rain, they would put rain tires on these things and go out there in the wet condition.
Ron Fellows, a two-time winner in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. He has been to Le Mans. He's won there. He's won at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. He is a three-time American Le Mans GT1 champion.
He's proven that he is a threat for sure, even in the Busch cars.
And speaking of threats, here's the AutoZone Chevy for P.J. Jones. This is the Richard Chonas-owned car. We told you P.J., a two-time Indy 500 participant. He is the son of the 1963 Indy 500 winner, Parnelli Jones.
He's showing up in 4th spot right now.
He's another guy. We should explain this, guys. If these guys, even though he has to go tailback because he has to change an engine, if he sets on the pole, if he grabs the pole position, NASCAR credits him with the pole, just like Michel Jourdain and the rest of the folks that had to go tailback. So even though they got to go tailback, at least they get credit for the pole.
Tailback. That's a position on the football team, right?
Come on, man. I know what tailback means. The whole world knows what tailback means. Well, we'll tell you again, though. Tailback means you got to go to the back of the pack because something went wrong.
All right.
They want us to explain a lot of stuff, and I like doing that. Sometimes I feel silly explaining it, but hey, tailback, we're going to the back of the pack.
All the way back to the back of the
very back.
The back of the pack. Okay. There's P.J. Jones after they had made that engine change, and currently 4th. And how about another second-generation driver? Here is the Home Life Communities Dodge for Steve Wallace. And this young man has come a long way in a year with some training during the offseason.
Well, Boris said really helped Steven a lot all through practice. Right now, he showed in 15th quick position. That's not what he expected. He was 5th yesterday and ended up 12th. So I know he's going to be a little bit disappointed. But Boris said really did so much for all these young guys, including Steven.
Steve Wallace was the fastest Dodge in qualifying at California last week, and now you see those yellow bumpers. He certainly is a rookie, but learning in a hurry at 19 years of age, making only his 21st ever start here in the NASCAR Busch Series.
We see that yellow tape on the bumper. I saw yellow tape on the back of Greg Biffle's car. He is a Busch Series champion, but they say he's a rookie at this track, so he has to have the stripes also.
That is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so Steven's got some good company.
It's like just because you haven't run this track, that makes you a rookie. So that's the way they feel. But there's not a rookie. Boris said this cat knows what he's doing.
All right, Boris said currently second quickest. Ron Fellows is fastest, but there are some guys coming out now who are going to be tough to beat. Juan Pablo Montoya coming up next. His laps at Mexico City.
Hi, I'm Carlos Contreras. We are in Mexico City, so this is my town, okay? Come on, let's go. This is Reforma Street. This is one of the biggest avenues in Mexico. And behind me, this is the Ángel de la Independencia. So it's the biggest monument in Mexico. Ángel de la Independencia means Independence Angel. So Independence Day in Mexico is September 16th, no Cinco de Mayo, no margaritas.
And thank you, Carlos, giving us a personal tour of this wonderful city, Mexico City, second largest city in the world with a population just over 20 million. Here is Carlos. He was the 4th quickest car overall in the final practice session. This is the final group, Group 7, where all the fastest cars are grouped together. It is their shot. These are the heavy hitters, the favorites to win the pole.
Jerry, every year he jumps right in this car, and he always gets it done. Carlos is just one of those natural-born road racers. He loves this racetrack. He loves his country. Look at the front of that car, Andy. The front end's sealed up really good. That air dam way low, man. That's what you want.
Yeah, these guys got that car set up good. They went out right off the truck and were fast, and I know they're very, very excited about coming to Mexico, home city, home country for Carlos, and he's really pumped up. He's going for the pole here.
And the guy that is the absolute overall favorite to win the pole, also one of the big-time favorites here to watch, although he is not Mexican. He is from Colombia, South America. This man, Juan Pablo Montoya. He was the quickest car in qualifying, making only his 7th career NASCAR Busch Series start, but the first ever on a road course. And there's Regan Smith, who is currently the quickest in this session. On the track, I should say, of this session, as you see the cars that are on the track. and Juan Pablo Montoya, and he is second quickest right now behind his teammate Scott Pruitt.
I'll tell you, Scott Pruitt and Juan Pablo Montoya won the coveted 24 Hours of Daytona together. So these two guys, Pruitt and Montoya out of Chip Ganassi stable, are probably the guys we need to take a look at. Oh, that's something we haven't seen out of Montoya all week long, really locking the tires up. But you know what? He's going for it right now in a qualifying run, and that tends to happen when you really hustle the car.
Yeah, got a lot of things happening real fast. Juan Pablo Montoya jumped up to the pole, and then just right behind him came Scott Pruitt. He outran him. He jumped up to the pole. Now we got Carlos Contreras in second place with Juan Pablo Montoya in third. Very exciting last segment.
And here, Scott Pruitt, there's the 41 car, the Wrigley Juicy Fruit Gum car, the Chip Ganassi with Felix Sabates effort for Scott Pruitt. Scott is the only 7-time winner of the 24 Hour of Daytona. Now, how good is that?
That's really good. I tell you, talk about different things. I've been looking at all these cars. Look how front high the air dam on that car is, and you can tell that he's running a softer rear spring setup, a little bit, stiffer front springs, too loose, he says, over the radio. You can see the car really rolling over a lot, so definitely a different setup than Montoya, his teammate.
Yeah, what he's saying right there, he's too loose to run another lap. He's already got that good lap, the goodie off the tires. These tires have the best grip when they're brand new, so he got all the good out of them on that very first lap, calls it good, and comes in the pits.
Well, that lap is certainly right now good enough for a new track record. The track record was held by Jorge Getters back in 2005, 103.366 miles per hour, and that lap by Pruitt, 103.647. A brand new NASCAR Busch Series track record, and we still have cars on the track in this session. Here's Montoya. He is currently third quickest as Carlos Contreras has gone by him in speed. Montoya trying to get some more speed in these final couple laps.
Well, I think when he locked up that tire under braking there, it may have flat spotted his tire. He's not been able to improve on that first lap. Like I said, he got all the good out of the tires in that very first one, so he's still trying to improve on it, but it's very difficult after he slid that tire under braking.
There you see the speeds of the drivers. Jorge Getters, by the way, was the track record holder. He set on the pole here in 2005. Denny Hamlin in the 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. He won this race a year ago. Regan Smith, he has been very impressive driving the Bobby Ginn Motorsports effort.
Ron Fellows was the pole sitter right before this group went out. Now he's been pushed back to 6. So 5 of these guys able to outrun Ron Fellows.
They're watching on pit road. Brad Parrott and company, crew chief for Juan Pablo Montoya. Now, if you're Brad Parrott, how long do you let him run? I mean, do you let it? Well, I guess he made the call.
Yeah, I'd say pull it in right now. How's that?
He couldn't get the time improved anymore, Jerry. Juan Pablo Montoya's telling him over the radio, hey, there's nothing left here, and he's third. So hey, it's a great qualifying run for that team. They got first and third out of Chip Ganassi's team. Carlos Contreras, also that's a relation to Felix Sabates, the owner of that team also. So the top 3 cars are all kind of related, so to speak.
Juan Pablo Montoya was able to visit with him this morning. His mom and dad are here, Pablo and Libya, and his wife Connie. As you hear the fans cheering, I mean, he is among the favorites here, coming from Formula One after that successful 6-year career in Europe on the Formula One circuit.
I know he's very disappointed he didn't get to back up his practice run. He ran really fast yesterday in practice, and they were not able to back it up in this qualifying run, and I know he's very disappointed not to get the pole here.
Well, I'll tell you what, a gallant effort. I believe he'll go back now. He'll sit down with his team. He'll talk about the way the car handled, some adjustments they might want to make for tomorrow's race. But that gentleman right there, Carlos Contreras, he has got a hot rod. He's second quick right now, and he's going to feel really good about that run.
Yeah, he just by 100th of a second beat Juan Pablo Montoya. Right now, it's got him on the front row for the race tomorrow.
Carlos Contreras driving the Dodge for Armando Fitz. Paul Wolf and the company doing a heck of a job to get Carlos on the track. They were a little nervous this morning because Carlos wasn't here bright and early, but Carlos said, I know I can get it done.
He knows all the back streets to get here. This is his town.
About a half an hour before they're going on the track, he's still not here. And they were getting a little nervous down in the crew there with the Armando Fitz team. But right now, Carlos Contreras, former 2-time Mustang Series champion, on the outside of row 1. But this guy right here is the man of the hour, Alan Bestwick.
They walk in here and grab the man who just won the pole, taking congratulations from his crew. Scott Pruitt, congratulations. Fast lap. What did it feel like from your perspective?
Hi to my family at home. First thing is it was real good, and then it was loose. It started out, when we finished up the day yesterday, the car was torch free, so we made a bunch of changes to try and tighten it up. And that's the same thing we saw in our GT car, this one, the Grand Am car. It seems like the track is looser, so we even need to go more for the race, do a little bit more tire change. But the Wrigley's Juicy Fruit Dodge ran great. I'm excited to be about that, starting from the pole, and we'll see if we have a good race tomorrow.
You have had a couple of attempts to win one of these NASCAR Busch Series and Nextel Cup Series road races. On the Busch Series side, now you're with one of the teams that's been one of the front runners for the last year or so. How does that change your confidence level going into tomorrow?
Well, it's great working with Ganassi. I mean, his focus and my focus is the same. We just want to win races, and we've had a lot of success together with the Grand Am side. Had a lot of success even on the Cup side. So hopefully, keep our fingers crossed. We can make some smart calls. And, a lot about going road racing here. You got to have a good car, but you also got to make smart calls in a race. So we're looking forward to it. We're gonna got a race here today, and hopefully we can win that and come back and win tomorrow. Would be just like a dream come true.
We'll see if that dream does come true. Scott Pruitt, pole winner today here in Mexico City.
All right, thank you, Alan. 46-year-old driver making only his 7th start in the NASCAR Busch Series, but his 2nd pole run. He won the pole at Watkins Glen back in 2001, picked up his career best Busch Series finish there of 8th. But he hopes to be able to run well, and right behind him in the grid will be his teammate, starting 3rd, Juan Pablo Montoya. The last time we saw Scott Pruitt and Montoya together, you heard Rusty say, they teamed up to win the 24 Hours of Daytona. And now they will follow each other to the green flag. Pruitt, the fastest in qualifying. This guy, Montoya, 3rd overall. What a great starting field we have. Here's the top 10 in qualifying. Back with more in just a moment.
So the qualifying positions are set for tomorrow's NASCAR Busch Series Mexico City. You can enjoy the action. An ESPN Full Circle event. ESPN2 will have race coverage beginning at 1:30 Eastern. ESPN Deportes in Spanish simulcast on ESPN. Live streaming action on ESPN360.com. Again, 1:30 Eastern time from Mexico City. Race 3 of 35 in the Busch Series. Chris Fowler back with Tim Brewer in our pitch studio. Let's hit a number of topics here as qualifying is over. First of all, Scott Pruitt, his 7th career Busch race on the pole for the 2nd time, but he's going to have 100 more laps on this race course, Tim, because he's double dipping tomorrow in the Grand Am race as well. An edge for him?
He's going to learn from it. Track conditions are going to be different tomorrow. 69 degrees is the forecast. 81 degrees here today. But Scott, he went after this pole position run. Tape on the nose of the car. A lot of downforce on the front. Probably the reason he got loose on the 2nd lap. Wouldn't surprise me a little bit. But he's going to learn enough in the morning about the practice session, the race in the morning. And he's going to get out of that car and he's going to tell those guys, hey, you need to do this for my air pressure. Get me a little bit more forward grip on this car, and I'll be in good shape.
A couple of aspects of the top 10 qualifiers. The international flavor very much in evidence here. This is the most international NASCAR race ever. And in that top 10, 6 Americans, the Colombian Montoya, 2 Mexicans, 1 Canadian, and an Australian, Marcus Ambrose, just out of the top 10 in 12th position. You got 6 road course specialists plus Montoya. So the expertise on these courses coming to the front.
Expertise. Boris said you can't say enough about him. Ron Fellows, great guy, won a lot of races, familiar with these Busch cars. He's going to be great. Juan Pablo Montoya, the only problem I have there, he got in that corner a little bit hot, might have flat spotted that tire to where it might be just a little bit of a deterrent at the start of the race. If he has to change the tire, go to the rear of the field, possibility. I'm sure they're going to look at it, see if any cords are showing, and adjust from there.
Yeah, Tim, the disappointment on the face of Montoya evident right after qualifying. Maybe more so because of that. Not that he didn't get the pole, he still qualifies 3rd, but because you're not allowed to change the tires, you got to start with the tire problem and either go to the back or try to ride it out.
I'll tell you what, he's in a catch-22 deal. I would ride it out anticipating a caution flag, but at that determination depends on, hey, is there cord showing on that tire? But I think a lot of it was due to maybe not having a lot of heat in the brakes. You leave pit road, you get one chance to come around here. And it's a deal to where maybe heat in the brakes, he just wasn't accustomed to the brake bias with low temperature.
Very, very unforgiving. One little mistake, boom, tire problem could have an impact.
The littlest thing you overlook or the biggest little thing might be the biggest thing to grab you by the tail.
Now let's go to Alan, part of the international flavor here, Alan, this Busch race.
A little north of the border, Ron Fellows. We've been talking about Maple Leafs hockey. We've been talking about a few different things. And you're looking at your 6th place result from today's qualifying session, Ron. What are your thoughts following your laps?
No, that's progress. That's a second better than we were yesterday. We can't be unhappy with that. We obviously would like to be a little bit faster, but Dan Still and all the guys have done a really good job with Camping World Chevy. I had a hi to the boss, the Harvicks.
Sure they're watching too.
Yeah, but how do we end up on this dusty old golf cart here anyway?
Needed a place to sit down and rest and talk about things like Maple Leafs hockey. Hey, you told me yesterday that you have cut back on some of your endurance racing, your sports car racing, to concentrate more on trying to get a couple more of these NASCAR wins. Why?
Well, the timing was right for me to cut back on the Corvette stuff. I love it, but the time was right, and I think that for me, I've got unfinished business, in particular in Nextel Cup, and it's been since the Busch Series started going back road racing. I want to get a win here, and Kevin's been very good about and patient here. We're gonna get some wins in this Camping World Chevy. It's just a matter of time. So and that's ultimately, we've had tremendous success with the CompuWare Corvettes, but we've got some unfinished business here.
Ron, thanks for the patience. We appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow. He'll start 6th. That's Ron Fellows. Doc?
Thank you, Alan. He, of course, the last non-American to win a NASCAR Busch Series event, the Canadian driver. Here are the drivers that have been in his 33 for the year. Tony Stewart finished 8th at Daytona. Kevin Harvick finished 6th at California. You feel a trend going here, guys? Ron Fellows qualifying awfully well. He will start in 6th here. Now, there are a lot of road course specialists in the top 10, but how about this guy who's a stock car regular who qualified 5th overall, Jamie Little?
That's right, Denny Hamlin. It was 1 year ago that he won his first ever NASCAR Busch Series race, and he was right here on a road course, and he wasn't a road course specialist. Denny, you qualified 5th today. How are you feeling about your starting position?
It's not bad. I mean, I know in race trim, our car just kept getting faster and faster the longer we went. A lot of guys in front of us got worse as they went. So I'm pretty happy with where we ended up. We knew we weren't going to be, pole material, but the top 5 is a good starting spot, and then in the long run, you'll see our car come to the front.
There's a lot of guys. One of your teammates is one of them, Brad Coleman, who's a rookie. He's never raced here. What can we expect to see tomorrow in the race?
I think the conditions are going to be pretty warm, so it's going to be handling racetrack for sure. I think it's going to be whoever can keep the car on the track and smooth. It's really going to be the guy to beat. This place is known to be pretty hard on transmissions and motors as well, so the shifting smooth and everything like that's going to be very important, and I'm pretty confident with what we have.
Well, he kicked it off here last year, Doc, and he went on to be Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series, winning 2 races and finishing 4th in the points. Pretty impressive.
It certainly was, Jamie. He led 40 laps here from the outside front row and wanted here. The 26-year-old out of Midlothian, Virginia, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, currently being shown in the starting grid. He will start 5th. The full field of qualifiers when we come back to Mexico City in a moment. Well, welcome back to Mexico City, Mexico. The field is set, and let's take a look at our starting grid. As you see, Scott Pruitt driving for Ganassi with Felix Sabates in the 41 car. New track record in qualifying as Pruitt picks up his 2nd career NASCAR Busch Series pole. Flanking him, Mexico City native Carlos Contreras driving a Dodge. Juan Pablo Montoya, Pruitt's teammate, will start right behind him in row 2. Jorge Getters, the former record holder in 2005 pole sitter, is there. Last year's winner, Denny Hamlin, and, of course, road racing ace Ron Fellows in row 3. Boris Sato sat on the pole here a year ago. An impressive young driver, Regan Smith, starting outside of row 4. Carl Edwards, currently 2nd in the point standings, and P.J. Jones rounding out the top 10 in qualifying.
Michel Jourdain, he had a great run going, and it's got to go tailback. That's one thing that he doesn't want to do, but tailback, I believe he can get back to the front through some pit stops. Mark Ambrose, and outside of row 6. Stephen Light, a great run out of Stephen Light. Never been to this racetrack before, really picked up in road racing. And Brad Coleman out of Joe Gibbs' stable also. A lot of good things we've seen out of him this weekend. J.J. Yeley in row 8. Row 8, Greg Biffle on the outside.
And a big surprise here is Adrian Fernandez starting in the 9th row. That's kind of a surprise. I expected him to be up there in the first 3 or 4 rows, and him starting back there in 17th is a little bit of a surprise. You got Bobby Hamilton Jr. beside him in the 35 car, and Scott Wimmer in the other RCR car. And I don't know exactly how you say that name, Jerry, but I'm going to let you do it.
Herman Quiroga Jr. All right, here's David Gilliland driving for Ed Renzi. Steve Wallace, the young 19-year-old, back outside row 11. Jason Leffler in the Toyota. Ruben Pardo, the former NASCAR Busch Eat Series Rookie of the Year from a year ago. David Rudiman driving the Toyota for Michael Waltrip. Brent Sherman, the young driver, who's done an awfully good job early in the year. Shane Huffman driving for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Mike Wallace in the 7 car, the Geico machine. Rogelio Lopez, who was the reigning series champion for the NASCAR Mexican Series from last year. John Wood in the outside of row 15.
Dave Blaney, there's a guy, a pretty good qualifying run for what he went through yesterday. A lot of problems, big crash car, came out. Clyde Cleaver in outside of row 16. J.R. Fitzpatrick on the inside of row 17. Cal Krisloff. We saw him save it coming off the last turn, turn 8. There's a good save out of the young man. He did a good job.
And David Reagan, he's getting a road racing lesson here in Mexico. He's in the 18th row. Stanton Barrett on the outside of 18th row. And then Curtis Davis, another guy that's trying to get a little bit of experience on a road course, starting in the 19th row with Todd Souza. And Brian Simo in the 34 car in the 20th row. And Antonio Perez in the other Mexican-owned entry.
And here are some cars that did not get a chance to go out. Brad Keselowski, John Young, and Alex Garcia. As we round out our starting field for the NASCAR Busch Series event here for the third consecutive year in Mexico City. Let's check in with Dave, who's standing by with the former record holder in qualifying.
Yeah, and of course, Jerry, you knew when they took away the chicane that they were going to blow away Jorge Getter's record from 2005, but you qualified 4th fastest. Are you satisfied with your qualifying run?
Yeah, absolutely. We are very excited about to be in the front of the group. I think it's very important for us to be there. This is our 3rd year in this racing career, so I'm very pleased with NASCAR to have a race this weekend in Mexico City.
And you told me earlier just how big this race is for someone who grew up in Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. This is for us like Daytona 500. Everybody's watching where are the Mexicans. We know that, so we need to find a very good team. Everybody's looking for good sponsors to be in a better team. So this is exciting for us from January to March. That is the race. So it's very glad to have everybody here.
And I want you to tell the fans something that's very interesting. The only person allowed in the impound area this morning was your wife, Vanessa. Yep. And she was doing something very special that she always does before your races. What was she doing?
Yeah, she's. I love her. You have to know that she wants to be protected by God. So she put some holy water on my car, on myself, to be protected for all my laps. So I was very excited about that. She loves to do that. So that's a very good, like our prestige for us.
It was very sweet, and Jorge says I had a very protective and good feeling when I know Vanessa does that before each one of my races. Alan?
With Boris Said, who's smiling through the disappointment, I think, Boris. You wound up in 7th spot. Thoughts on your qualifying lap?
Disappointing, you know. I mean, I just have to blame myself. I feel pretty bad. I had high expectations here. I mean, we went and tested this Ray Abraham Dodge, and we were tested really good, and we came here, and we've been, you know, fighting tight all day. But, you know, we got some great sponsors, Hellmann's and Mayonnaise, and probably got one of the best teams on pit road. So hopefully they can do some good race strategy, and we can race better than these guys. But I'm definitely disappointed. I mean, I was coming here hoping to win. Now I'm hoping for a top 3 or 4. But we're going to just race real hard and see where the chips fall, and can't wait for tomorrow.
In a race where your car is now impounded and you really can't do anything to it before you start the race, you'll spend all night thinking about what, the first pit stop?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do. I mean, that's tough, these impound races, because you're always like, man, if we just had one more session, we can get the car better. But I think we have a good race car. I mean, we didn't spend any time doing qualifying runs. We just worked on race setup and ran about 40 laps on a set of tires and ran pretty good. So, I mean, I think if we can run some long runs, we'll be okay.
All right, thanks, Boris. Professor Boris Said, who will start tomorrow in 7th spot. Mike Massaro.
Well, Alan, an emotional Juan Pablo Montoya still debriefing with his team, car owner Chip Ganassi. I know you wanted the pole, you didn't get it. What are your thoughts right now?
A little bit frustrating. You know, I think everybody at Texas Javelin Dodge and here in Mexico with Telso done a really good job. You know, decided to as a team, make some changes, and they were the wrong ones, you know, and I just had to pay the price. It was really tight, and I was actually surprised it was that fast, you know. I lost 7/10 from my lap yesterday, and my lap yesterday wasn't that special, so I think we got a really fast race car, but we'll see.
How would you like the car to feel starting the race?
Well, it's going to feel like it qualified because you can't change it, but, you know, we'll just take it as it comes.
You feel like there's enough adjustability in the race car to get it where you want it to so you can get to victory lane?
Hopefully. You know, it's a long race, and strategy plays a big role in road course races, so we'll see what we can do.
I know you've set high expectations for yourself for this weekend. That said, how much more pressure is there on yourself that you may be putting on yourself for this particular weekend?
I think I put a lot of pressure on myself every weekend, you know, whether it's good or bad. You know, you need to make sure you give it 100%, and everybody in the teams gives it 100%. You know, sometimes you're going to have a great weekend, sometimes you're going to suck. And
But even when you're sucking, you gotta step it up and make the most out of it.
You know, sometimes we see drivers when they're a little bit heated up, like yourself, they drive harder. How about you?
No, I'd brake the same place I braked yesterday. Did the same things I did yesterday. Just the car didn't steer. You know, things like that happen.
Well, thank you, Juan Pablo, and good luck on Sunday afternoon. Thank you. Guys, obviously a disappointed Juan Pablo Montoya, but still he remains a little bit optimistic, thinking he can get this car to victory lane. Jerry?
And Mike, thank you. He will be our in-race reporter on during the race coverage. He will be talking to Rusty Wallace. His crew chief will be talking to Andy Petrie. And guys, interesting, Juan Pablo, very frustrated, said they made changes on the car and the car was very tight. He was surprised the lap was as good as it was.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised too. He went in there and hit the brakes and kind of slid that right front wheel, and that probably could have made his car tighter later, but they had a great lap yesterday, and so he was very disappointed when they didn't back it up, and that lap yesterday would have got him the pole. So I know he's very disappointed.
Well, you could see on that when he first qualified, he locked that right front wheel up and slid off the course. Didn't slide off the course, but slid up the course more than he wanted to. And I talked to him this morning. He felt really good about his qualifying lap. He was comparing the way he drives to Scott Pruitt. He said he doesn't get up in the curves near as much as Scott does, and that's what Scott did in order to get this pole. Now, look, that's not what you want to do, and Scott even tell you that, but he uses it more. Scott does those curves, those cars getting in the air. Now, one thing I noticed also, he had a real flat platform in the front of his car, Juan Pablo did, meaning the car didn't have a lot of body roll. Scott Pruitt's car looked totally different. The front end up on the right side, the front end up on the left side. A lot of body English, I call it. These drivers can manipulate the cars around the corners with gas pedals, brake pedals, and you see Juan Pablo uses his hands a lot and explain it. Let's take a look at Pruitt here once. See how hard the car's really rolled over, way up on the curb? You never saw Juan Pablo Montoya doing that.
I talked to both of these crew chiefs, and they do have different setups, quite different setups, and that's a little, kind of a driver preference thing. But Scott really likes his car, and he was able to take his setup and put it on the pole. And then Juan Pablo and his guys are trying to get their car to run a little flatter on the track.
That's a perfect look right here. See, he's barely tickling the curbs. He's keeping his car flat. Pruitt's doing it a totally different style, and you know what, though? Each one of them's right. You know why? They were teammates in the best road race in the world, the 24 Hours of Daytona, and they won it. So if I'm going to try to get somebody to drive my car here, would I pick Pruitt? Yeah. Would I pick Montoya? Heck yeah.
Well, Juan Pablo Montoya has been successful everywhere he has gone, and right away he was a Formula 3000 champion. He won the kart title as a rookie at age 24, 7 victories, the 2000 Indianapolis 500, 7 Grand Prix wins, including the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix. And he's right now hoping to get his first win in NASCAR's Busch Series from 3rd starting spot here tomorrow in Mexico City. Back with more post-qualifying updates in a moment.
Coverage of the Arena Football League on ABC continues tomorrow. Regional games, either defending champion the Chicago Rush taking on the Kansas City Brigade, or the Dallas Desperados versus the New York Dragons. The Russell Athletic ESPN Arena Football Sunday on ABC at 12:30 Eastern Time. My sidekick Tim Brewer's gone back to the garage area here in Mexico City. Talk about one of the adjustments made for the benefit of these drivers in a road course car.
One thing we're going to help the driver performance and comfort with, shifter handle. This long shifter handle, he's got to move this thing about 6 inches forward and back. Look at this performance here. About 1.5 inches throw on the shifter, back up through the gears, back down through the gears, enables him to get his hand back on the steering wheel so he can do a better job at driving the race car.
That is a great point, Tim. And I know, Rusty, over the years, you were a fan. I mean, that just came into racing just a few years ago, and it makes a big difference for a driver.
It really does. But, Jerry, I'll tell you one thing. That's all about driver preference also. When I drove the car, I like the long shifter handles. I like having the leverage to move back and forth. And my hand really worked really, really quick. Now you look at a driver like Mark Martin. Mark always liked a very short shifter handle to do just what Tim Brewer was saying in there. Move it real quick, get the hand back in the wheel. A lot of preference goes on there just about the way you want it. It's all about what makes you feel good in the car.
There's another reason that they run those short shifters too, though, Rusty. But that leverage you're talking about, you can take that leverage and actually damage the transmission. As a crew chief, I'm going to put the shorter shifter on there that driver will allow me to put in there so he can't tear up the transmission, and with that extra leverage.
All right, let's check in with Jamie Little, who's standing by with Adrian Fernandez.
That's right. It's the first time we've seen him in the Busch Series this year. Adrian Fernandez from Mexico City. A lot of fans here. A lot going on. What are you holding here?
No, this is for Valentina. Our friends from Oakley here in Mexico gave us this present for our daughter that's coming in 2 months. So very exciting.
The wife is not here because she's 7 months pregnant, so this is going to be your first child. Let's talk real quickly about the race, Adrian. Qualifying today, 17th, not what you had hoped for. What did you see out there?
I've been very quick last 2 years, so hopefully this is a sign. Everything always happens something, so I think this time, it's going to be better. The car is very consistent on race trim, so I think we're going to be okay. Kyle Busch, remember last year we didn't qualify that well also. He was very fast on the race, so that's what we were hoping. In qualifying, I just cannot get any grip, and I saw my lap time on the first one. I have to give more into the second. I almost lost it on the last corner, but that's what it is. But I think we're feeling good.
We're on a road course. Can you pass 16 cars to get to the front?
Well, I have passed like 30 before, so I think I can pass 17.
All right, Dave?
Hey, Jamie with Greg Biffle now, catching up after a qualifying run, which was interesting because it was in a car that you hadn't had on the track because you wrecked your primary car. This was kind of exciting for you.
Yeah, it was. The little lack of communication there with the NASCAR officials. They waved me off the end of pit road, but appeared to be off the end of pit road, and they said if we didn't qualify in our group, we didn't get to qualify. So our group was out there, so naturally I went and made a lap in 3/4 until the session was over, and then they said I wasn't supposed to be in that group. They were going to go ahead and send me with the other group and get the whole 5 minutes. So we went and did it again. So I've got had to try it again on hot tires, and we ended up 15th or 16th there, 16th. So not too bad. Yardman Fusion did pretty good. They weren't quite ready, and Newt and the guys worked really, really hard to get the backup ready, and pretty excited about that starting position, really. And I think we got a good car. I think we got a solid chance at the top 5.
We talked about that during the broadcast. It was meant to be the Montreal car. So with one or just a few laps out here, can you tell, is it solid and ready to go? Because your car's impounded now. They can't work on it.
Yeah, it felt really good, and they spent extra time making sure that the car was ready. And the brakes worked extremely, brakes worked really well. The car turned very well, just a little bit loose to the left, a little tight to the right, which would be just a simple wedge adjustment. But the car, no gremlins in it, shifted good, ran good, stopped good, so I think we got a good chance.
All right, Greg Biffle starting 16th yesterday, teammate to Jorge Getters, by the way. Doc?
Well, guys, we've had so many reasons to celebrate being in Mexico City this week, but on a sad note, longtime NASCAR official Pete Babb passed away this week. Babb, a native of Chesapeake, Virginia, one of NASCAR's oldest and most respected officials, having worked as an inspector for over 55 years, which made him the longest tenured official in NASCAR history. Babb started when the Busch Series was here years ago, remembered as a tough but fair individual who never had an enemy. Pete Babb was 79 years old.
And welcome back. We're doing the top 5 qualifier for tomorrow's NASCAR Busch Series 200. Denny Hamlin had won this a year ago when he started second. Will start 5th. He's the only Chevy in the top 5. Qualifying 4th, one of the Mexican heroes, Jorge Getters. The local fans will have a lot to cheer about, at least at the beginning of the race. It'll be an intriguing front of the grid for them. Getters in a Ford. Dodge is in the 3 fastest, although Juan Pablo Montoya is certainly frustrated at the end of his qualifying. Said adjustments were made, and he didn't think they were the right ones. So he'll have to sort through some things perhaps in the early going of the race. Mexican Carlos Contreras, 36-year-old. Local racer, ESPN Deportes commentator, giving up the mic to get back behind the wheel. You recognize him from a lot of starts in the Truck Series in the late 90s. And the pole sitter in the number 41 car is Scott Pruitt. Veteran open wheel driver, a road course expert, and he'll have the pole for the 3rd running of this race in Mexico City, and what'll be a cooler but sunny day on Sunday here tomorrow. Jerry, back to you guys.
And thanks, Chris. Scott Pruitt will be doing double duty this weekend, not only driving from the pole here in the NASCAR Busch Series, but also wheeling his Lexus Riley Daytona prototype in the Grand Am event. Now, let's take a look if we show you both cars and how they're different in lines on the racetrack.
Well, Jerry, take a look at this. On the left-hand side, you're going to see the Daytona prototype coming in the frame here shortly. Now, see how low he is at a racetrack? Look at the white line. He's inside, but look at the right side. I tell you what, these cars have got so much downforce, they can hold this inside line just because they don't have to go that far out.
And that's not driver technique, because Scott Pruitt is driving both of these cars. That's definitely the car. You see how well that Daytona prototype just sticks to the road. These Busch cars are hard to drive. They slide around a lot. You see them using every inch of the racetrack coming off the turn.
Andy, I tell you, the Daytona prototype's got almost twice the downforce. It's got so much downforce they can hold that car to a lower road. And the car on the outside, the one he was on the pole with today, the Busch Grand National car, much heavier, a lot of momentum. The car's wore shot a lot, so a lot different feel.
And it shows you just how versatile Scott Pruitt is, because he can drive both of these cars, get out of one and get in the other, and then get on, and put one of them on the pole.
Yeah, he led all 100 laps a year ago here in his Daytona prototype with Luis Diaz. He will co-drive with Mimo Rojas this year, but he's also the pole sitter for the NASCAR Busch Series event. Back in a moment.
ESPN's presentation of NASCAR Busch Series of Mexico City brought to you by New One A Day Energy, the multivitamin with more to help you feel energized all day. Get more of what matters to you. And by Verizon Wireless. Set for racing excitement on Sunday. A final check with the reporters, beginning with Mike Massaro.
Well, Chris, Stephen Light picked up nearly a full second over his practice times and qualified 13th. Where'd you find that speed on the racetrack?
I think most of it was me being comfortable, but all the guys at the shop and here at the track have done a great job with it. This entire City Financial team has worked hard this weekend, and really they just allowed me to go out there and have some fun. I haven't driven on a road course since I was a little kid, and just having fun out there is really the main thing.
Well, best of luck. Alan Bestwick.
With a very happy Carlos Contreras, second fastest today in your hometown. Thoughts?
Wow, I don't believe it yet. So can you see my face, my smile? I'm very happy. Honestly, it wasn't my job. It was the Armando Fitz, the new Fitz Motorsports, my crew chief Whirlpool, all my guys, all my crew, my sponsor Family Dollar, Dodge. Was a really nice weekend, and I'm very, very excited for tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow. He'll start in the front row. Jamie?
Well, Brad Coleman, driver we've been talking about, one of the rookies to watch tomorrow, qualified 14th. What was that qualifying couple of laps like for you from a rookie's perspective?
Oh, it was definitely hairy and on the edge. I mean, the track's real greasy. It's real hot. A couple of people laid down some oil, but the Carino's Italian Grill Chevy was all good during practice, and I have a great team behind me. Got to go eat my pasta to get my energy before the race tomorrow, but we'll do good. We have a great car.
All right, guys, Brad Coleman, he just turned 19 years old this week. Happy birthday to the rookie. Oh, and his team giving him a little love, Doc.
All right, guys, your thoughts quickly on qualifying.
Right now, I was really surprised that Boris said, didn't do better than he did. Montoya, we all thought he was going to get to pole.
And a few surprises here. The kids running up front. You got Adrian Fernandez starting in 17th spot, going to be working his way to the front.
All right, our full circle coverage coming your way Sunday, 1:30 Eastern Time. ESPN2 will be all over it. NASCAR's Busch Series stars and some of the greatest road racers international field coming your way Sunday at 1:30. For our entire ESPN crew, so long, everyone, from Mexico City. Congratulations to Scott